Hi guys, it's the first half podcast once again. We're here to discuss football and my name is Patrick. I'm here with...
My name is Dennis.
Yes, Dennis. Charlie, but we've had a lot of interesting football tournaments coming to an end this season.
Yeah, the season is almost over.
Yeah, we have quite a number of interesting finals coming up. So today we are here to talk about the Europa League.
Okay.
Especially the finals, because like we always do here, we speak mostly about the EPL games.
Okay.
Most interestingly, we have two EPL teams coming up for the finals of the Europa. But before we even go into that, what is very interesting is that the two EPL teams that are going to the finals in the Europa are the main two teams who were expecting to do so well in the EPL and have performed very terribly. Does that mean that the Europa League didn't have the kind of performance we're expecting? The teams didn't show up, or genuinely we feel as though that Manchester and Tottenham did very well to get to where they've gotten to in the Europa League final?
Okay. So I think the Europa League was created for teams that don't actually make it to the Champions League. So let's say the surplus to requirements when it comes to when it comes to European competition. So they created that to at least sort of create a competition for those teams. So most of the time, you don't get the top level teams playing in there, and you get the teams that fall shy of the Champions League.
No, not to catch you. I disagree with you.
Okay.
When you say that most of the time you don't get the top level teams.
Yeah.
There are some teams that certain seasons.
Yeah, that's what I'm coming to. Once in a while, you may get one or two teams who have a bad season and fall in there. But a majority of the teams in there will not be teams that, because they are lower leagues and they get the opportunity to also play a European championship. So you can get some very small country in Europe who also get opportunities to represent in Europe. So if you're a big fish and you go and fall in these categories, the possibility of you being able to get to that level in terms of the finals is quite high, and an opportunity for you to win a trophy. So, as disappointing as Spurs and United has been, this is almost getting to be. I heard Arsene Wenger make a statement that winning the Europa League and getting the opportunity to join the Champions League is quite unfair and it's not right. And I agree with him, because I feel for teams like United and Spurs, who have performed so badly, we're talking about teams who are faring 16th and 17th in the league, to sneak in ahead of teams who will probably be 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, who are way higher than them in the league, is unfair, and I think it's something that UEFA needs to look at again.
Okay. So they're speaking about it being unfair. Do we just feel it's unfair because of the category of players who have made it to the finals, or we've always felt that because it has always been like that?
So if you are giving,
does it make it different because of the category of teams who are in the finals this time around and based on their performance in their league, or you feel as though that it has been unfair since day one?
Well, I mean, I think it's been unfair since day one, because you are giving smaller teams the opportunities to also play in Europe. But most of these smaller teams never get to win, because you get bigger teams coming there because they failed in their previous seasons, and they come in there and bully the smaller teams and get a very easy trophy. So you get about, although the competition may have about 20 or whatever team, only 3 or 4 are actually able to compete, because they have the resources and the caliber of players that the rest can't really compete with. So because of that, yes, you get to win a trophy. But what I don't agree is that if you win the trophy, I think it should guarantee you to play in the Europa League next season, rather than jump you up to the Champions League. Because now there are teams who are fighting top 5, whatever, and they've done their best all season. And any of these teams could actually sneak in there with very little effort.
But then I actually disagree with you in the sense that this is what the rules of Europa has been. Okay.
But the rules doesn't make it right.
But I'm saying that this is what it has been in the Europa League. Now, it wasn't a walk in the park for both Manchester United and Tottenham for them to get to the finals. So whoever fights for that position to get to the final and is entitled to what the rules say, so be it. No, it doesn't make, for me, it doesn't make it unfair, because you could have equally have lost and not gotten to the final.
No, but I see.
So if you want to get to the final,
are you telling me that if United and Spurs were in the Champions League, they will be in the final? Why won't they be? Because the quality of teams there. How
are you able to say that?
I know. I mean, with their form, I can say that.
With their form, no,
yes.
Can't take your time. With their form.
Would you have expected them to be a Europa League final? I doubt you would have.
Oh no, you see, for me,
no. So it would be unfair. I mean, not fair to say that in the Champions League they wouldn't have been where they
not have expected them to be there, but with their quality, they are supposed to be, because the teams that are in there, when you take a Manchester United with a Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, and all these players, compared to some Azerbaijan team you can't even mention one player's name. Of course, you expect them to win. The only challenging team that I think Manchester United played was Lyon, who almost kicked them out of the tournament until they sneaked in the last minute to be able to win.
But Bilbao has been a very good team in the Spanish league.
That's the point. That's why you get only a handful of teams out of the.
But in this handful of teams, they competed with them and they kicked them out.
Yes, but my challenge is they shouldn't be. If you can win it, I don't have any problem.
Yeah.
But to qualify you to the Champions League is where my problem is.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying that.
I mean, winning
it is a problem. It is a problem because you feel as though that their performance has been terrible.
No,
I'm giving the explanation you gave.
Okay.
Their performance has been terrible. We have other teams in the EPL who have performed wonderfully well, the 7th, 8th, 6th position. Then you go to Europa, get to the finals, and it says that because you won, you have to be in the Champions League.
Don't forget that it's not just about winning a trophy. Champions League guarantee you a certain access to funds.
Of course.
So, which means that teams who have invested and they are doing well in the EPL are going to fall shy of these funds simply because somebody sneaked in through the back door.
Nobody sneaked in. Let us not use that word. They played several games just like the Champions League.
No, they sneaked.
They played and they've gotten there. So, but then let's see this.
Yes.
Now we have these two teams who have performed terribly. Terribly.
This
season. And they are facing each other. This finals.
Now the interesting thing is that I want us to zero in on their coaches.
That's right.
Okay, because we have Amorim, who just came in, took up the Manchester United team, and is having a hell of a time. Okay. Now we have Ange Postecoglou. I hope I got the name right.
Ange Postecoglou.
Yes, Ange Postecoglou. He's had a terrible time this season. Now these two coaches face each other. I've always had a problem with how things have gone for Amorim because I remember him very well when he came in at the beginning. You know, Charlie interviews here and there. All the media wanted to get a bit and piece of him, and it hasn't gone well. However, I'm looking at these finals. I'm looking at the games that led to the finals. And I can say, you might not agree, I can say that I'm seeing bits and pieces of changes in the Manchester United play. Now, the leadership that is coming from their captain has been superb. You know, because things have been so bad. Sometimes when I see Manchester United come to play, I feel as though that they'll have their heads down and be very dull and all that. But they are still pushing for something. That is why I was actually in a way fighting or letting you know that they deserve to be in the finals. And if the rule says that they have to be in Champions League, that's fine. But the finals, I want to put you on the spot. Looking at the coach's ideologies, looking at what the players have been doing for the time being, who is your ticket on?
You see, when you take both teams and both coaches, as you said, Amorim, since he's come in, I don't think he has done marvelously well. The stats don't show that the team has done so much better since he took over from Eric Ten Hag. Because out of 24 games in the Premier League, he's won just 6. And that is terrible.
Terrible,
I mean, there is this talk that the players are not able to play his style of football. But these are cup winners. These are players who have played in national teams with some of the greatest. These are players who have done, I mean, they played this. They have over 300 and 200 games out under their belts.
Yeah.
So it's you, the coach, your job to train them to know Okay. But the excuse that I don't have my players or whoever I want, so I can be landering or like hovering around the 16th or 17th, to me, it's bad.
I disagree with you, but you go on.
Okay, you have one and done. Yeah. Now, yes, you have an opportunity to be in a final.
Yeah, final. Yeah.
And for me, I believe that cup competition is different from a league competition.
Yeah.
And you can show up for a cup competition
and the whole league
and be able to win. That doesn't mean necessarily that your team is doing well. I've seen teams do very terribly in a league because that one you have to show up every day and accumulate points.
Yeah.
Where a cup competition may require you to play just about 8 to 10 games. And if you're able to just scrape through a few, you may find yourself in the final. When you get to the final, everybody shows up because there is a trophy at the end of the game. So it's a different ball game altogether.
Yeah.
You get it? It's not like you have to play for months to be able to get
But you have to play for a season to get to the finals.
You have to play what?
You have to play for a period.
It's still a cup competition. So in that case, we are talking about knockout competition.
Yeah.
And knockout competition, you know that, I have about 12 games and then I'll get there. So it's a different kettle of fish compared to a league. Now they are there, and with the experience that United have, I know they are going to show up ready to fight for it.
Okay.
And when I look at Ange Postecoglou, I think last time we were here, we were laughing at him because he made a profound statement that said that in his second season, he always wins something. So this is a great opportunity
for him
to show what he's about. To be fair to him, he's had some very terrible injuries.
Terrible.
I mean, there was a time that his whole back line
everyone was gone.
So it would be very unfair to judge him and say he's a bad coach because from where he's coming from, he's always been a winner. So for me, the stakes are high for both coaches. Both actually need to possibly, Postecoglou might probably need it more. I don't even know whether he can save his job. But it's actually a situation whereby Tottenham fans are calling for his head because of the way they play. So as to whether this can change something for him, I wouldn't know. But a win would actually be very good for him.
Yeah.
So between the two, if I look at both teams, the experience at the United that will show up and whatever, I think United may edge it because of the experience in the team. Because, they are hungry. But what I will hate is that it papers over the cracks. In terms of their performance over the season, what they have, how terrible their play has been. And it may actually give them a certain bit of confidence for the new season that may be fake. Because you may think that, we had a bad season but we won something, so we'll go again. But I think more light has to be thrown on the coach, what he's doing, and whether to, if you listen to his press conferences, you can see that the confidence is low.
That's
Amorim. Okay. His confidence is low. Like he said, when he came in, the darling boy wanted to sit in front of me. Right now you can see that
he's not interested.
He's talking about he could still lose his job and he won't get the same time that a coach like Arteta has had and all that. When you watch United, are you able to see what they are trying to do, their style of play? It doesn't show. You get it? It's like, just take the ball, move it forward, counter attacks, let's see what happens and all that. And it's concerning. So for me, I'm really interested to see what he does next year. But when we talk about hunger and experiences in finals, I think they may have a little edge over Spurs.
Okay, all right. So yes. So I think that Manchester has not played too well. I think Tottenham has equally not played too well.
Yeah.
However, I believe that if Manchester is able to win this, I think they deserve their applause.
Okay.
Because there are several games in the Europa that they could have easily lost the game, but they were able to pull through and come out of it. Europa League has never been an easy one.
Okay.
Yeah. Whoever wins an Europa League it's not as difficult like you're saying. The top-notch teams are not there. But however, you would have to do a lot to get to where you've gotten to.
Okay.
Now, Amorim came into Manchester United and had his own ideologies and his style of play, the kind of formation that he wanted to play and whatnot. Now, I think in the middle of your conversation or submission, I said that I disagreed with you. You know, there are several kinds, and I'm sure you are very much aware of this. There are several kinds of gameplays or formations.
Yeah.
No matter the kind of stars you have in your team, if you don't have a particular player that can really play that role for you, it will be difficult for you to play your formation and get the best out of it.
Okay.
And I personally think that Amorim coming into Manchester United hasn't gotten the opportunity to get the kind of players that will play his style of play.
Okay.
However, once you step into the shoes of a Manchester United coach, you don't have any excuse. You need to perform and deliver. But I'm saying that if Amorim is given a start, a new season, then he gets his players to play the kind of formation that he wants to play, then we can really judge him and judge him well.
So let me ask this.
Yeah.
So assuming Man United tell Amorim now that we don't have money for you to bring in the players that you think you need or deserve to challenge, are you okay for Amorim to say that then go next season to be somewhere 16, 17?
Yes.
Why?
Because you and I know, let's go back. You know Ten Hag before he left, we and there are several instances that we've actually said that the players at Manchester United now were not pulling their weight.
Yes.
So it actually even affected Ten Hag.
Okay.
Now Amorim has come in with these same players. Don't forget that the kind of formation Amorim plays, and we discussed this some time ago, the kind of formation he plays, if he doesn't have the caliber of players to play that, I think he plays a 3-back, a diamond formation or whatever it is. If he doesn't have that caliber of players to play that formation, he's going to struggle. And the time he came in, at a certain point I was asking myself that, why would you come in at this particular time knowing that there is a situation of Manchester United and you take the offer? But it was like, it's now or never, so he had to come in. But to quickly judge Amorim because of the performance of Manchester United now, it will be so unfair.
No, you see, if Amorim had a...
So you're expecting him to do so much with the players that he gave?
I'm expecting him to at least be a little above the middle of the table.
No.
With this quality of players, of course. I'm expecting him to
at least... He came, the season was already ongoing.
Amorim has played 24 games, 24 matches.
Yeah.
The total season is 38.
Yeah.
So how many?
You are playing 24 games with the same material.
As a coach, you adapt. You adapt. You can't say this is my way. Your team is losing. You adapt to the strength of what you have, and then next season. So I'm already trying to tell me that I have one way and no other way, because no matter what you do, every game you adapt, because you don't know what the opposition is bringing. So if you realize, okay, these are my players, this is their strength, you play to their strength until you get what you want. But to be languishing around 17, 18, 16, and you tell me it's because I don't have my team, or I don't have, then you are not a coach.
Yeah, but then you know that when you were talking about the Tottenham coach, you said something.
Yes.
You said it would be very unfair for us to say that he's not done so well because at a certain point he lost all his defenders.
That's two different.
Yes.
Two different.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between the players are not available and I have the players but they can't play football.
Yeah, but then I've always said that when you go into a team, you go into an EPL, a tournament, whatever it is, all your players that you have there as a coach are supposed to perform.
Yes.
So then if you have 3 or 4 or 5 players not present and these players are playing and because of that you are not doing well, then the coach, you are not performing.
No.
It has to do with your injured players.
The point is that
I don't see how Amorim comes in the middle of the league and expects him to do magic.
In Postecoglou's defense, he didn't get one winger, one midfielder, one defender hit. At some point, his whole back line were hit. He had to basically makeshift the defense. Amorim has most of his team available, and his excuse is that they can't play my philosophy.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. That's that. Because Manchester United have no business below 15th. No matter who, even if it was someone who has never been a coach before, with the quality of players.
So you think if Ten Hag was there, they wouldn't have been where they are?
No, they won't be.
Where would they have been?
Ten Hag will bring them somewhere close to Europe, I think.
No.
But that's where he's always been.
That's not true.
Ten Hag has always been around.
That's not true. The season was going differently.
It wasn't. It was the beginning of the season. Do you know where Newcastle was in the beginning of the season?
No,
you know where Newcastle was and where they are now? You will never know. The point is that this whole excuse of my style of play, I think it's being waved around too much.
But then my problem
is it's still football.
You have been the kind of person who has been very objective when it comes to some of these things.
Yes.
You have a coach who has come in within the first half of the season.
24 means that we played how many games? Just about what? 30. 24 means they played just about 18.
But then, you know, most coaches who have gone to teams that have performed have been given opportunity to bring in the kind of players that they need to use so that they give out their best.
No, look at Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola came in the first season.
Yeah.
And he didn't have the players he wanted.
Do you know what? No, don't bring. Do you know what Pep Guardiola did when he gave the first season?
Wait.
Okay, if you got it to let's wait. I'm listening.
In his first season, he had Otamendi and all these players in there who were not his style of playing football. He still finished in the top 4. He didn't say they are not my whatever.
No, but that's you can't give that example.
Why?
Manchester United team, it's not like the team was struggling when Amorim came.
How were they struggling?
Why did they let Ten Hag go?
They won the FA Cup before.
Why did they let Ten Hag go?
Wait.
No, why did you let them go?
Wait. If you played about just how many games, 12 or whatever games, and you decided that you are going to let the coach go.
Why?
That's a preference. Because
why is the coach going?
Wait. It's a preference. So you decide to bring a coach in, okay?
No.
Now,
then you can't just say preference based on what? Preference are based on
wait. Are you trying to tell me, sit here and tell me that winning 6 games out of 24 games for a team like Manchester United is acceptable?
It's terrible, but nobody's saying. I'm saying it's terrible. But I'm saying that.
But why are you making excuses?
No, Dennis, you are.
Why are you making excuses?
No. But why should you be able to make excuses for the Tottenham coach because he had an injured player? Why?
Why are you are comparing apples and
No, that's what you are rather doing. I'm saying that Amorim has come in.
Yes.
He doesn't have the caliber of players. These are the same players that we complain about when they were under Ten Hag. Ten Hag left.
That is different.
Ten Hag left because they thought that Manchester United was not performing well.
No,
and it was the fault of the coach.
Ten Hag left firstly because they thought he had done the dressing room, and secondly they were not performing well. Yeah. If you bring in a new coach, if nothing at all, there's something called new manager bounce. That should push you a couple of games up.
New manager bounce doesn't work on any. Look, the players we had at Manchester United
what are you talking about?
not good players.
Manchester
United players we have at this.
You can't say
No, you are not being fair because this is not how you argue. Okay, you have players like Holland and all those people. Are those Manchester United players for you?
Wait.
When you started watching Ferguson's game,
wait.
Amorim doesn't have the material to play. Let's cut off some slack. We are not being fair.
Manchester United, their squad as it is now, is far better than more than half of the Premier League. Agreed.
What are you talking about?
If you take 10 teams in the Premier League, United have a better squad than them. I'm actually being very
Why do you say so? Why? What? Based on what?
The fact that they won the FA Cup. These players are. What I do? If you take tell me the players who are bad in Manchester United.
Wait. When you say they won the FA Cup before, so I don't understand. So then why, if we use those bases, what we've won before, and because we won something before in the next season the players are not performing, what does that mean?
That means that you look at the coach. No, all of a sudden you are trying to tell me that these players don't know how to kick a ball. All of these players are professionals. If they get a coach that can move them, they will move.
You think so?
100%. So now here is the case that they may be.
You have to keep
wait,
what you are saying on
record. No, you see,
listen, you will contradict yourself.
I'm not going. Listen, there might be 1 or 2 players in there who are not Manchester United players. Agreed. Or caliber. Agreed.
Okay.
But for a coach to tell me that I'm actually sitting 4th to the bottom, and my excuse is that they can't play my style.
But that same coach is at the finals of the Europa League.
No, but the point is, I'm talking about the EPL.
No, that's the same coach who's at the finals.
So then let's bring it to your conversation. If you are telling me that same coach is at the whatever, so what is the excuse in the EPL?
No.
He said the players are not good for.
Let me give you the excuse.
You are contradicting yourself.
No, let me give you the excuse. I'm going to use your own word. Let me give you the excuse. The excuse is that playing a knockout tournament is totally different from playing.
These are players who
I'm using your own word. No, wait, I'm going to use your own. Listen, no, but
so rather it's not a style they are playing.
Even in the Europa League,
it's not a style.
No, wait. Even in the Europa League,
it's a style they are playing.
It's not a style.
What
even in the Europa League.
So why can't you apply the same thing here?
No, you can't apply the same.
Why?
thing. Because there's a knockout tournament.
So there's
a league.
No, but you see, at least if you can get to the final of Europa, I expect you that at least you should be above mid-table in the league.
Well,
but for me to have that argument, or you to have that argument with me that he doesn't have his style of players, and because of that, they are okay being where they are, or it's understandable where they are, then why are they in the Europa League final?
No,
the players are choosing when to perform, and that's on the coach.
Dennis, see, the players of Manchester United have been a problem since Ten Hag was there.
That doesn't mean they are bad.
Wait.
That doesn't mean they are bad players.
Problem means so many things. Nobody uses the word bad. And
you said that here.
I'm saying that you and I have discussed what challenges Ten Hag has faced with the players that he had at his disposal. Wait, take your time. Now you bring in a new coach to come and turn things around. This new coach has come to meet these same caliber of players. Now this new coach is saying that I don't have the caliber of players that I have to play my style of play. However, I'm going to use these same players to play the league till the season ends. And I'm telling you that, Dennis, please. We all know football. When a coach gets his material that he knows he can use to play, most of the time they perform much better. Stop making it look like Amorim was, because Amorim has come, he was supposed to do something and he didn't do it. So it's not true. Chelsea, wait. It is not true. It is not true. Let us defend Amorim. He came to meet the same caliber of players that Ten Hag was struggling with, and you expected him to do magic. Why? Why
was he brought in?
To change things.
Good. So now you come in. 24 games, you won 6. And your excuse is that it's not my style.
It is not an excuse, it is the truth.
It's not the truth.
It is the truth. He doesn't have his players.
Everybody in football will expect that with those caliber of players, he should get better out of them. Because no matter what, United is not going to give him enough money to change all 11 players. He has to make shifts up.
Nobody is going to change all the 11 players.
So how is that all better? They are so bad that
they are not changing. When a coach says that he needs specific players, even a coach can decide to change his keeper and he changes his whole team's game.
You were saying here telling me that in Liverpool, you needed a DM. And what did your coach did? He made a makeshift towards DM.
Because
that is a coach.
Because no. You see that come. If he came and he had a product available that could play that for
no.
Why my coach? No. It is not.
Listen. Let me
as a football fan.
Let me give you an example.
We all know. You know that when Guardiola came to Man City, he had one of the top goalkeepers in the league. He had Joe Hart. He made that guy go. Why? Because he felt as though that he didn't fit the style of play that he wanted. So I'm telling you that when coaches
let me give you an example.
No. When coaches come into a team and they have their players.
That one doesn't hold.
No, it holds because I'm telling you that because even Joe Hart wasn't a useless player. Joe Hart was good, but it didn't fit the kind of style he wanted to play.
Which is fine.
Yes.
What I'm saying, hasn't Amorim bought players?
Which players?
He generally didn't bring a player or two.
Which players did he bring?
He brought a winger or a left back.
He brought
wait.
He brought
wait.
So what is was
wait. When I'm just answering your argument about Pep getting an opportunity to change goalkeepers. Now, when Amorim came in, Ten Hag was benching Diallo. Correct?
Yeah, correct.
Because he wanted a certain level of results.
Yeah, he brought
him in. Yeah. He brought in that Euro, who is also a defender that he thinks he prefers. He's had money to spend. So this excuse that you think that City
is was already in the team.
Diallo was on the bench, so at least you have to make shift. That is what good coaches do. You make shift. You look at all your players in training. You look at what is closest to what I want to do, and you build a team around that. So he brought Diallo into the team. He brought Euro. That guy, I don't know his name, but I think he's a left back. He's playing Shaw's position. So My point is that nobody. I think Ugarte did he come in 10 half time? I don't remember. But the point is that nobody's expecting Amorim to win the league. But at least where Manchester United is now, it is graceful. And we just mentioned here that if or barring that the teams that have been relegated were as poor as they were, United will be the relegation battle. And you're telling me that this team with Bruno, Mason Mount, and all these players, Mason Mount and all these players are.
No, you didn't mention Mason Mount. I rest my case because I don't know why you're doing.
Wait, you are telling me a team with Mason Mount, Bruno, Ugarte, Casemiro, Harry Maguire. I mean, what are you saying? This is a team that should be in a 16th position.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, I'm splitting myself. So you are telling me that a team with these people are supposed to be, these players are supposed to be in the 16th position. Why are we saying?
But you're not mentioning any players. Who? Harry Maguire, Mason Mount. Who did you mention? You're not mentioning any players.
Why do you do this?
No.
Harry Maguire, Mason Mount, Diallo, what's the name of that boy? The Argentine boy.
Casemiro.
Garnacho, Rashford. I mean, hey, what are you trying to say?
Okay, so
Bruno.
So
Hoyland.
But so you are saying that you are going to
Zexi.
You get Manchester people.
I get them out. You'll be surprised how many fans agree with me.
No, so are you saying that in a nutshell you are using the performance so far to judge Amorim as a coach?
100%.
Okay.
But
you are not using the performance so far of Tottenham to judge Postecoglou because
Postecoglou has not done well. Last season he plays better than he is this season.
Okay.
That means that his argument that he's been, the number of injuries that he's actually been exposed to have been a lot. And it doesn't even come spread across the pitch. Certain specialities. If it's midfield, it's midfield. If it's defense, it's defense at a goal.
Okay.
So for that, I can cut him some slack than Amorim, who has his full team, barring a few players, and tell me that because of my style. But Postecoglou has not complained about his style. He's complaining about players being injured.
Yeah, but that's his genuine issue.
Yes, so why
my genuine issues are about the kind of players I need to play my style. So why should
why should you
take Postecoglou?
Wait. You see, I don't know why you are doing this. Maybe it's because Liverpool won the league. The point is that even when Klopp came into your team, he took time to build. I think he built till 6 or 7 years before he started winning trophies. Was he ever insistent when he didn't have the players to play his game?
No, it wasn't, because the kind of challenges that Manchester United. You see, you know why you're making it sound? You're making it sound like Manchester United was at the top there, and some coach has come and has brought them down there. Manchester was already sinking.
They were never 16.
It was a sinking.
They were never 16.
They were not 16. They were not 16. But I'm saying that the fact that I came before the ship is sinking doesn't mean that it was already sinking.
You were brought in to change it.
It was sinking. I'm saying that Amorim is not. We can't use the caliber of players that Manchester United has now to judge Amorim. It's totally wrong.
The moment Amorim signed that dotted line that I'm United coach, whatever the problems were in there, you're supposed to fix it and make sure that the team performs better. What are we talking about?
No. Once you are a coach, when things go bad, it's your fault.
Yes.
When things go well, you take the breaks.
Yes.
But let's speak to facts. And I'm saying that no coach can perform without their material.
It's not true. It's not true.
And
you mentioned it.
And I'm saying that Amorim can be judged using this season. No, it's not possible.
Nobody is saying
it is not possible.
Nobody's saying
it is not possible at all. You can't just judge Amorim.
You're not getting my point.
It's not possible.
You're not getting my point. Nobody is saying he should be judged.
You just did that. You were telling me just a few minutes ago.
What I'm saying is that 16th with the caliber of players he has, it's not good enough.
Which players are you talking about? This caliber.
This disrespect that you are showing to Manchester United.
No, it's not.
I hope they come for you in the comments.
It's not disrespect. You want to tell it. Which
caliber of players I mentioned, you started mentioning Mason Mount, Harry Maguire, Ugarte.
And these are what, bad players?
I'm not saying they are bad
players. They are not 16th players. What are you talking about?
No.
16th.
I'm saying that Amorim has. You can't use this season to judge him more. Let's give him next season and let's see what counts. In fact, he'll be in Champions League next season.
So to you, he's going to win the title.
Oh yeah, I tip Manchester United to win this hands down.
Okay.
Yeah, I really do because I feel as though
the final is a final.
Like you
anything
said,
can happen.
Well, they played other games before getting to the final.
Let me ask you a very important question. If United or Tottenham wins the Europa, would you say they've had a better season than Arsenal?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Why?
I wouldn't say that.
Why? Even though Arsenal is trophyless?
Yeah, even though Arsenal is trophyless.
Why?
Well, every team's target is to win a trophy in a particular season.
Naturally.
Yeah, naturally. And even if Manchester or Tottenham takes the cup, any of them takes the cup, I still believe that they know that they have not done that well. They've done abysmally poor.
What do you define as well? He won a trophy.
Well, I mean, it still doesn't matter.
So why are we getting on the back of Arsenal for being there 3 seasons in a row and not winning anything?
Yeah, because you see, Arsenal's situation is different because it's different if you don't come close to it at all and you.
So when you come close to it and you don't win, you are okay than a team that, because right now, let me paint a picture for you. Between Tottenham and United, any of them could win a trophy.